I'm Sherry Austin, registered nurse and longevity advisor. My focus is helping leaders build the systems that sustain high performance over time. What that really means is this: I help leaders stay clear, decisive, and effective without burning out in the process. What I've seen both clinically and now working with leaders is that performance doesn't usually break all at once. It degrades subtly. Clarity drops, decision making slows, and energy becomes inconsistent. Most leaders don't recognize it as a systems issue. They interpret it as, I just need to push harder. But what we're really dealing with is a recovery problem. We're seeing a shift in how recovery is being understood, especially as the environments leaders are operating in become more complex. It's moving beyond mental health into something much broader: a full system approach to performance. If you look at how leadership is operating today, the pace is faster, the inputs are constant, the expectations are higher, and the margin for error is a lot smaller. So, what used to work, weekend recovery, occasional rest, and taking time off when things got overwhelming, that's no longer sufficient because the system you're operating in doesn't slow down, which means recovery can't be occasional anymore. It has to be integrated. Recovery now includes nervous system regulation, metabolic health, movement, and cognitive restoration. Performance isn't just mental, it's biological. Your ability to think clearly, make decisions quickly, and stay focused under pressure, all of that is dependent on your physiology, not just your mindset. This is where I see a disconnect. Leaders are investing in strategy, execution, and growth, but not in the system that supports their ability to sustain those things. So, what happens is this: they can perform at a high level, but not consistently. And over time, that inconsistency becomes a liability. I want you to think about this for a moment. Where in your day does performance drop? After a series of meetings, when decision load increases? That's not random, that's a signal. The leaders who are sustaining performance over time, not just in short bursts, are the ones who are integrating recovery into how they operate daily. Not occasionally, not reactively, but systematically. I've worked with leaders who start their day already depleted, stacked meetings back to back with no recovery windows. They rely on caffeine to push through and then wonder why their clarity drops, decisions feel harder, and their energy becomes inconsistent. This is not a discipline issue, it's a systems issue. Because if your day is designed to extract output without supporting recovery, you will eventually see a decline in performance, even if you're highly capable. So when I work with leaders, we simplify this into a system, not more tools, not more tracking, a system. And it comes down to three core elements. Element number one is recognition, knowing when your system is starting to degrade and noticing early signals before performance drops. Number two will be interruption, creating space to reset before depletion compounds, and short strategic recovery moments, not long breaks. And concept number three is integration, building recovery into your day, not as an afterthought, but as part of how you operate. Without this, recovery becomes reactive. With this concept, recovery becomes structural. This is the shift. Recovery is no longer a support function. It's the infrastructure that allows leaders to perform under increasing complexity. And that's a different way of thinking about it. Infrastructure is not optional, it's foundational. If the infrastructure is weak, everything built on top of it becomes unstable. That includes your performance, your decision making, and your leadership capacity. So over time, recovery becomes a competitive advantage, not because it gives you more time, but because it allows you to sustain clarity when others cannot. This matters more now than ever because the systems leaders are operating in are becoming more complex. There's more variables, more decision making, more pressure on clarity. And without strong recovery, systems that complexity doesn't just make things harder, it starts to erode performance. Not all at once, but over time. Clarity drops, decision fatigue increases, and execution slows. And this is where I see the separation happening. It's not just about who's working harder, it's about who can maintain clarity inside a more complex system. If you've been following this week, you can see the pattern. Recovery isn't something you do occasionally, it's something you design. And the leaders who start to think this way, they operate differently. They don't wait until they're depleted. They build systems that prevent it. Next week, I'm going to break down how to actually build that system so you can move from tracking recovery to actually improving it. I'll see you Monday at 12:30.